Hi guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at the person on your mind. We're going to see what their next action is towards you and what you can expect from them. Go ahead and pick a number 1 or 2, or the pile 1 or 2. If you are in need of a personal reading, you can of course reach out to me on my website. Let's get started. Hi pile 1. We're going to be taking a look at the person on your mind and the next action they're going to be taking towards you. Let's go ahead and tap in. We'll also try and pick up on some of the energy of what has likely taken place previously so that you'll know whether or not this is your pile and it resonates. Let's get started. So pile number 1, your person's next action towards you. This person is very stuck in their thoughts when it comes to you, especially when it comes to moving things forward. This is somebody who is always kind of moving from a place of fear. They likely overthink way too much. They're always kind of waiting for the right moment. This is someone who, it's not necessarily that they're a planner, but they are so critical of themselves that they get stuck when it comes to the decision itself. Pile number 1's person's next action towards them. This is also someone here you see that's contemplating, they're juggling. They feel like they need to do right by you in this situation and find common ground in order to be able to heal the situation here with the Three of Pentacles. I'm going to tell you something. I think this person has attached a lot of their self-worth to monetary things, whether it's what they have to offer financially or just where they're at in their lives overall. This is somebody who has been overthinking who they are and how they can show up when it comes to you. And so it's gotten in the way of them being able to take action, especially if you have been disconnected from them. In the past, you may have felt like this person was back and forth when it came to how they were handling things, but they seem to be in this energy now where they're contemplating how they want to restore balance because they feel like they have enough to be able to find common ground and build with you with the Three of Pentacles. Their next action, wow, the Knight of Swords is coming in abruptly after a period of silence. And the Sun is here. It's about healing. So this person has really been slow in terms of how they've come forward, how they've navigated things. But this person is also in a place where they're much more action oriented coming up. So they're going to contemplate and then they're going to take some action. Now we're getting a lot of Pentacles energy here. So based off of this reading, you're either going to be hearing from this person in the next 2 to 3 weeks or in the next 2 to 3 months. But for this pile specifically, I don't see anything past that. If you're in the timeline of summer or close to summer, I would say that the Sun likely also applies. But you're going to feel like this person kind of comes in abruptly. The Eight of Wands is here at the bottom of the deck, so this is somebody who the communication all of a sudden just starts coming in. They've been silent, they've been reflecting, they've been building, laying the foundation down with the Three of Pentacles, and then this Two of Pentacles contemplating how to make things right with the Justice card. This person has just been overthinking. Now, one thing I want to talk about, we're getting a lot of major arcanas here. Chariot, Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Sun. This person has been kind of fighting the momentum that the universe has been putting in place. I think that they felt uncomfortable with the push that the universe has been trying to give them. So they've essentially had to get to a place where they themselves are frustrated with their inaction. They are frustrated with their inability to come forward. And I think that that's something important to keep in mind, because I think in this situation, maybe you've felt confused and you've also felt frustrated by the way that they've shown up. But the energy is showing that they also have been just as frustrated. It's been like a boiling point. And so now they're finally at a place where they're able to come forward. Let's tap in here. Pile number 1's person and what they currently think of pile number 1, because that's definitely influencing how they're coming forward. So again, the Two of Wands, contemplation, and the High Priestess. So this is someone who's trying to connect to their intuition, but they view you as a very intuitive person. Maybe they're, in retrospect, they think, wow, pile 1 kind of knew the value of this connection, or they knew that this is where I would end up. And now the Two of Wands is a crossroads of how to come forward. So we're getting that 2 energy again here from the Two of Pentacles of how do I come forward? How do I approach? So this person is in the unknown. I will also say the High Priestess is, she's about mystery in a sense. She's very intuitive and connected, but it doesn't mean that everything that she has access to, other people have access to, because the moon is also here, you see, and the moon is always about vagueness. Things are suppressed, hidden, and then we're getting the moon card again. I think that this person doesn't have clarity on where you stand right now, what you're doing, what you've got going on. Maybe you've pulled back your energy, but this energy here of giving them the opportunity to be introspective while also not having access to you is really helpful to the process that they're going through. Let's just see here. What does Pile One's person want them to know? Since we're seeing that this person is going to come forward and take action, let's just see what they want you to be aware of. The Magician and the Three of Swords. So this person has been manifesting. They've been trying to kind of use all the tools at their disposal to bring in what they want. Maybe they thought that they could attract you back into their life without them having to step outside of themselves to come forward. But this person's been very heartbroken. And they feel like you've set a very clear boundary here with the Queen of Swords, that you've made your boundaries and your expectations very, very clear, and that they now are in this planning stage with the Three of Wands, looking out, trying to figure it out. But we have the Knight here, and they will come forward. For some of you, the next 2 to 3 weeks. For others, the next 2 to 3 months. If you're looking for specific timing, I do offer single question readings, so you can check in on your person. That is available on my website. Let's take a look here. What's coming up next for Pile One when it comes to their person? The next action that a person will take towards them. Unrequited love and honeymoon. Wow, so this person does not feel like you're in a place to receive. This is the energy that we're getting in the beginning. This is the crossroads, contemplation. So again, this is why that timing is 2 to 3 weeks or 2 to 3 months. This person's having to move past. This card for me is always kind of like the Six of Swords, this honeymoon card. It's moving past hesitation. It's moving past whatever you're struggling with. And I think that this person is getting to a place where they're going to have to take action regardless of how they think they might be received by you. Pile One, the next action the person on their mind will take towards them. See, there it is. Express your love and calling in your soulmate. This is also the energy of the Magician with manifesting. This person, while they're unsure, while they're hesitating, they're kind of just hoping that the universe might make it easy for them and bring you in. But they will express themselves after a period of contemplation, after a period of questioning and then planning, and kind of having clarity that, you know, if maybe before it was easier to come across you, now it's not so easy. If maybe before it was easier to fix things or communicate, now it's not so easy. And they will be coming forward with a very serious intention with engagement here. So the energy looks very positive, Pile One. The overall that we're getting here is that this person is going to go through a bit of a process. Right now, they're very anxious about how to come forward. They're going to contemplate, second guess. They're going to, in the meanwhile, be laying down a foundation to make sure that their life is ready for the connection with you. And then they're going to kind of get fed up and frustrated with the lack of movement, with their own lack of action, and with the fact that the universe isn't making it easy, and they'll come forward to connect with you. So it looks positive, and again, 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 months for this pile. That's what I'm seeing. I will just say that I think that in this dynamic, you may have felt like now, looking back, you're a much more empowered version of yourself as a result of having to enforce boundaries or having to enforce your own standards and having to be independent from this person. And that was ultimately the lesson that you were supposed to be learning. Sometimes in these readings, we can get very focused on who's doing what and specifically the other person and their process, but there's always something that we should be learning and taking away as well, which is why we are also involved in the situation. So I just want to make that clear based off what I'm seeing here. And like I mentioned earlier, if you're in need of a personal reading, you can of course reach out to me for more clarity. I'm wishing you the best. I'll see you next time. Hey there, pile number 2. Let's take a look at the person on your mind and the next action they're going to be taking directly towards you. Let's get started. Pile number 2's person, their next action. Contemplation and defensiveness. So this person is in an energy coming up of feeling like they are juggling a lot and like they're needing to persevere past their own frustration to come forward and connect with you. The King of Wands shows that there's an attraction there and that they're feeling compelled, but they're also in this place of needing to balance their life while also overcoming whatever they think they need to overcome in order to be able to come towards you. Pile number 2's person's next action towards them. The Five of Pentacles, the Three of Wands, this person, they're going to be very much in their feelings coming up. So this person's going to be in a place of kind of lack. They're going to be feeling like, do I have enough to offer to pile two? How do I navigate connecting with them? And then also viewing you as very independent, doing better without them. I think this person regardless sees you as someone who thrives whether they're around or not with the Nine of Pentacles, but this person's also trying to work on being the kind of person that can match that energy. So while they're in this Five of Pentacles, Three of Wands planning stage, feeling like they're not offering anything to you, but also not receiving anything from you, it's putting them in a place where they're needing to overcome things that they've needed to balance out for quite some time regardless. And the King of Wands, he can be very intense and passionate about the things that he's wanting to dedicate his energy to. But I will say, because it is a Wands, I often also get the King of Wands as somebody who sometimes, even if he's more mature than the Knight, is still making decisions from a place of impulsiveness. And this person now is kind of maybe having to navigate whatever they've gotten themselves into, or just the imbalance or instability that they feel in their life as a result of impulsive behavior that they've exhibited. Pile number 2's person's next action towards them. See, there's that Knight, Three of Swords, and the Moon. So this person, I'm going to tell you, they're going to come forward, but there's a bit of a transition here in terms of how they come forward, and they're going to still take some time because there's a lot of Pentacles energy here. The energy also with the Knight of Wands is telling me that when they come in, they seem to come in really passionate, really intense, impulsive. They don't really plan how they come in. This is somebody who, as soon as they kind of feel like maybe they found some sort of stability or some sort of courage, they come blazing in wanting to connect with you. Now, this is going to maybe be jarring for you, and there's a reason it's showing up as a Knight of Wands. And it is because this behavior, this same thing that has attracted you to them, has caused disappointment in the past. Maybe this person chose someone else. Maybe this person invested in the wrong connection. Maybe this person just disappointed you in a way that you weren't able to express. And maybe these things happened and they're not even aware that you know about it. You know, this could be someone that maybe you're disconnected from, and they went and got into something else. And then they had to get their way out of it and rebalance their life. And that's going to be their next actions, is trying to recalibrate everything and feeling this sense of lack and questioning their own self-worth and how they can measure up to what they think your expectations are. And then they come blazing in as soon as they have some courage. But one thing to just keep in mind is that this energy that they're coming in with, we'll check and see if it's stabilized, but it's going to feel maybe exciting because it's at night. But with the Moon here, what it tells me is that it's also going to feel kind of like, I don't know if I can trust this. I don't know that I have clarity, because this same thing that I like about this person is what's been so disappointing for me in the past. Pile 2's person's next action towards them. Five of Swords. This person's going to feel conflicted about their ability to really invest and commit into the connection. And here's this energy of the High Priestess where you're kind of pulled back. You're trying to connect to your own intuition. I think that when this person comes in, you're going to feel very conflicted about taking them in. This Five of Swords is coming in after we already pulled the Knight of Wands, so it's telling me that when they come in, it's not easy breezy. This energy of you not feeling like you can trust them causes conflict mentally for you. You're conflicted. They're also conflicted because they're second guessing not whether you're worth commitment, but whether they're capable of showing up the way they think that you might need them to. So expect that when this person does come forward, and it still looks like it's going to take some time, and we can look at exact timing in personal readings, but this is a general reading, you're still going to feel conflicted about how to navigate things with them. And you're going to have to really connect to your intuition and see whether or not this person is meeting your standards. And I think because of the way they come in, you're going to be like, whoa, is this person coming in from a genuine place, or are they just, something else just didn't work out, or, you know, do they just think I'll take them back in? They seem to want something serious, but they will also be second guessing themselves because they're going to wonder what your standards and expectations actually are for them. And you're going to be second guessing them because you're going to question whether their behavior has shifted because of how intensely they come in. What can pile number 2 expect from the person on their mind in their next action? The Eight of Swords and the World. So again, this is anxiety around whether or not this person has closed out certain cycles. The Queen of Wands is here. So we do have this counterpart energy. You likely feel very connected to this person. There's strong attraction between the both of you. It probably feels really good when you're together. But this person, you're going to be questioning, have they closed out this part of their life? Now, the Wheel of Fortune is here. It's a major arcana. It tells me that when this person comes in, it is the right time for them to be coming in. It is the right time to be addressing this. Clarify this Knight of Wands for pile 2. 10 of Pentacles. So wow, this person is very serious. That energy that we saw of the Hierophant here, they're serious. They want to meet your standards and expectations. But the way they come in, you're going to question whether they actually can. But I'll tell you this. When they come in, if you are feeling conflicted, which is like I can tell that you will be, don't be afraid to set your standards and your boundaries. Don't be afraid to say this, and this doesn't work for me. I don't want it. Don't be afraid, because once this person hears what you need, they seem to mellow out and actually become more emotionally available. I think a big fear here is around stability and finances, or just kind of questioning how they add value. So then when you say what you need, they're like, wait, I actually can do that. I'm capable of that. And then they feel more secure to open up. This person is being genuine. The 10 of Pentacles is very serious with the Hierophant here. But when they come in, you'll question it. They'll question whether they'll meet your standards. It's important that if you've learned anything through this, you don't back down from your standards. And you're very clear. You don't have to be kind of like, I feel like sometimes people try and play it cool, or, they're like, I don't want to say things, and then this person gets scared. It's important you assert yourself, because the clarity you give to this person will actually give them the confidence to come forward in an emotional way. But initially they come in kind of intense. You might think they haven't really grown. You're going to question why this is their approach. Maybe it's more playful than you want it to be. Regardless, they do seem to be very serious, and they seem to overcome a lot in order to come forward. This timeline here is giving me over the course of these next 5 months. For some, it might be a little longer, depending on how long this person stays stuck in this energy of feeling like they have to make the effort to level out their life. One thing to also keep in mind is these readings are timeless. When you see it is when it applies. So maybe you've already been disconnected from them for a significant amount of time. But it is a general reading, so pinpointing timing, I can only do a window. And the window that I see from this reading forward is that this person will likely still take some time, likely about 5 months at least, in order for them to come forward. We're getting a lot of repetitive numbers, and the 5 seems to be the one that's reappearing more than once. So let's take a look here. Pile number 2's person, their next action towards pile number 2. Codependency and deception. So this person, codependency for me is, I relate oracle cards to tarot cards. So codependency for me is kind of like the devil and the Eight of Swords. It's obsessiveness, frustration, and deception here means that this person's not being honest about their emotions. They're not being honest about how they're feeling. So again, it's about making the effort. This person is avoiding that. They're stuck in their thoughts. They're not being honest about it. They're obsessing about their own behavior, which we already saw. And that does seem to be the first step here for them. Pile number 2's person's next action towards them. Worth waiting for. When worth waiting for shows up, it always tells me that the timing is still a bit further out, which we were already getting from the reading. And honeymoon here tells me that it's about moving forward. I relate this card to the Six of Swords. This person still needs to move past this Five of Swords energy of feeling conflicted within themselves. It's one thing for them to feel conflicted when approaching you as to whether or not they meet your standards, but it's another for them to feel conflicted on whether they even deserve to come forward. So it's going to take some time, but heart-to-heart conversations is here. Pile number 2's person's next action. And then very soon. So again, it can't be too far out, and new love. So it'll feel like a renewal. You see reconciliation is at the bottom, so it's not like something completely new is coming forward. This person will come around. It's going to take some time. They still have a couple more steps they need to take in order to come around towards you, but they do seem to be hyper fixated on how to stabilize their life so that they can be taken seriously by you, which shows that you are significant to them. So I also just want to touch on, because I talked about this in pile 1, just what you should be kind of taking away from this situation, because it's easy to focus on just this person. Regardless of their next action, you're getting out of this how to set boundaries and assert yourself, how to be clear about your needs and not to back down from them. This person's having an issue with self-worth, which is affecting the way they show up in the connection. Your issue with self-worth is you allowing things that don't align with you just for this person to be a part of your life. That is not going to show up as the two of you being vibrationally balanced, and it doesn't allow the connection to show up at the highest level. Don't be afraid to assert what you need with this person. Don't be afraid. They will rise to the occasion. So keep that in mind, because what you're learning is I'm worthy of what I'm asking for. I'm deserving of what I'm asking for. I don't have to lower it just so that I'm not alone. That's your lesson in this. It's also about self-worth, but also about independence when it comes to attachment and not being in a codependent energy just for the sake of having this person come in. You don't need to make it easy for them. You just need to have it be very clear, because the clarity will give them the confidence. So that's all I'm seeing. If you're in need of a personal reading, you can reach out to me, and I will see you next time. I hope this resonated. You can let me know in the comments below. Bye.